again, everybody. Barry Hyatt here in Scottsville at the University of Kentucky Extension Office with my good friend Janet Johnson. And Janet, it's August, it's warm, and we're going to have a hot dinner too, apparently, right?
Well, we're going to have some fast food, Barry, without having to drive through. And that's kind of the joy of this dinner, whether you're still at the ballpark or a lot of people are getting ready to go back to school right now.
Sure.
This is an excellent supper idea that you can make on the go when you're getting back in the routine of going back to school, or just something quick that you can pretty much have on hand, but have some great fresh vegetables right now. What's in, and we all know that here in the South, we love two vegetables the best, and we'll talk about the third later, but we love sweet corn and we love our tomatoes,
yes,
do
we
we not?
We do.
In all forms and fashions. Well, this is a way that you can take an ear, a large ear, maybe two, of sweet corn, and you can take 2 or 3 tomatoes and slice those up, kind of cut that off, and you can have a pizza. And I'm going to show you the variation, because the other ingredients you can have on the hand, on the shelf, and that's what makes it quick.
Cool.
So it's good.
Very nice.
Okay. Well, we know, of course, that this recipe takes fresh corn. Now, could you use frozen corn and canned corn? You could. You could cheat. And you could do that. But there's nothing better than fresh corn, Barry. And this is where you're actually going to cut the corn off, and we've shown this trick many times.
And it's an awesome trick.
Because all you do is you take a long blade knife, like a utility knife, cut down, and you cut your corn into a bundt pan, catches it, you can measure it. It's a great trick. And you're simply cutting that corn off in that way. Now, I'll tell you something I like to do as well, Barry. I like to grill some corn. Or you can cut kernels off like we're doing and put them in the oven and just roast them a minute.
Roast them a little bit,
That adds a little dimension that's different than what we're going to do. We're just going to use the fresh corn kernels, no roasting, no cooking. But the other way definitely adds some flavor difference. So consider that. Or maybe you've got an extra ear that you boiled or grilled.
Right, sure.
And you can use a leftover ear. So that works too. Okay, so what we're doing is we're going to the grocery and we're buying a prepared pizza crust. Now, you can buy thin or regular. I'm urging you to consider the thin crust. It just gives a nice crispy crust flavor to the veggie pizza that we're doing, and less calories. You can get a whole wheat or you can get regular, whatever you like. And then for the sauce, we're going to take our tomatoes and we're actually going to use them in a different way. Instead of a tomato sauce or a pizza sauce, we're going to spread what we call a tomato basil pesto. Now, tomato basil pesto, or just basil pesto, is basically where you're taking a couple of cups of basil leaves, and this is one of my favorites to grow in a container garden, because as you can see, you can have purple, you can have all kinds of flavors, and you can have sweet basil, whatever you like. But you're actually taking 2 cups of leaves with a half a cup of olive oil and a half a cup of Parmesan cheese that you shredded or grated, and you just food process until it's blended, and that's what you see here. Well, but I cheated, Barry. I went to the grocery and actually purchased some basil pesto. That's already, you can buy it in a can or a little jar, I should say, instead of a can. And that's going to be in your Italian area with your pizza sauces and tomatoes. Or you can actually buy it fresh in containers in your deli section. Now, that's probably the best kind if you're going to cheat. But the other is shelf worthy, then you put it in your refrigerator and you can use it over and over. So what we're doing is we're just taking a half a cup. Now, you can use more if you like that, but we're just spreading this on our pizza crust, and you're spreading it thin. Some people say, well, you know, don't you use them more than that when you're making pizza? Well, you do, but a little goes a long way with this, So you can adjust to your taste, but a half a cup, and you can see I've measured that out. You spread it, the olive oil kind of gives you that consistency. Now, you know, a lot of prepared crust packages, Barry, will tell you to actually spray your pizza crust with olive oil. Doing it this way, the olive oil is on the pizza. It's already there, So I'm just spreading, and I'm leaving a little bit of crust, and you just do the way you want. But that's what a half a cup.
It's all over the whole pizza.
It's over the whole pizza, okay? So as I said, if you like this flavor, you can increase your amounts, but right now that's what we're doing, and that's just a half a cup,
just a half a
as
cup.
you see.
Yeah.
And that's all you have to use. Now, let's go back to our corn.
Okay.
And talk about that, where we've cut off, and we're actually going to measure out about 2/3 cup, so just, you know, roughly, whatever you want, like that. Now, you get between 1/3 and 1/2 a cup of kernels from an ear of corn, okay?
Oh, wow, okay.
So a large ear is going to give you all the kernels you need. You might have to do 2 small ones if you want to do it the other way, and you can pick those out. So we've got some fresh corn kernels, and we're adding 1/2 a cup of Parmesan cheese to those. And I'm just going to mix that up just a little bit, okay?
Sure.
And then, to add a little flavor, we're going to drizzle the corn and the Parmesan cheese with some great Kentucky honey. Now, if you had to, you could use Tennessee honey too.
I guess it depends on where you live.
Yes, it does. But either one will be great. But a good local honey, and you can vary flavors. You only need about a tablespoon or even just a teaspoon. And I just like to coat, okay? So you just kind of drizzle that over your corn and your Parmesan cheese, and just kind of mix that up enough, and then we're going to come over.
And we're going to put it on top.
And we're just going to spoon that lightly over the basil pesto on our crust. And that's really easy too. Like I said, if you want ahead of time, you could either boil or grill an ear of corn, or roast some corn kernels that you may cut off, and that's going to add, again, a different texture. Being in the oven, they're going to semi-roast as it is.
Sure.
And
now, have you made this before?
yes, I have.
And what are your thoughts?
Excellent. That's why I love the thin crust pizza. So I'm giving you a lot of my likes. But I actually taste tested this recipe back in the spring. This is part, of course, of our Plated Up Kentucky Proud project. And this was a recipe that we taste tested with a focus group here at the Extension office. And I will have to say that my office people loved this pizza, and they chose the thin crust over the thick crust. Because we had various amounts of basil, pesto, different crust, and this was the winner. So now let's go back and let's talk about these tomatoes.
Of course, yeah.
And what we've had, we actually took 3 meaty tomatoes. So what are meaty tomatoes? Those are tomatoes that have a meaty texture, a fleshy texture with less juice. Because with a pizza or something like this, or bruschetta or something that you're doing, you don't want a lot of juice to make your bread crust soggy.
Right.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So hence, we try to get a meaty tomato that would be aroma, or a tomato-like aroma that you could use. That we have one over there that we can get a shot later. But we're actually just slicing those in 1/4 inch slices, and then what I've done ahead of time to add a little flavor to the tomatoes, I have sprinkled those with onion powder and seasoned pepper.
Now, actually, we can just show them right now. We're talking about these tomatoes, right?
Yes, yeah, just pick one up there.
This is what she's talking about right here.
That is aroma tomato.
Aroma tomato, yeah.
You know, it's a little oblong tomato, but it, as you can see with these slices, it is a very meaty tomato. You don't have a lot of juice to begin with.
Right.
And then as I slice those, you may notice that I put those on paper towel. And that helps to absorb a little more of the juice as well before you actually put that on your pizza. So now all I'm doing is arranging those. So we've got tomato on the pizza, it's just not in the sauce.
Right.
Absolutely. So you can see we put those on paper towels, and we now are ready, Barry, to slip this little guy almost in the oven. Any good pizza, though, is going to have a little Parmesan cheese,
Exactly.
right? It has. So we're going to finish off our veggie pizza here with anywhere from 1/2 to 1 cup of Parmesan cheese. Whatever you like, and we'll let you be the judge there. And then we're going to put this baby in the oven. I preheated the oven at 450. And put it on a middle rack. And notice I've got this on a little cookie sheet I'm going to put in the oven. And so I'll do that, 450. Now, depending on your oven, at the extension office, like at home, I can cook this on 450, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to lower this oven to 425. I've let it preheat at 450.
Okay.
Now I'm going to cut it down because the thin crust pizza gets very crispy on the outside.
Right. And then about how long does it take?
It only takes about 10 minutes until your crust is brown and your cheese is melted.
Okay.
10, 12, depending on your oven, like that too, because you're cooking at a high temperature.
Right.
So there we go. That's that fast, easy recipe, and we'll show you some shots of the finished product, and it is a delicious, quick, easy supper.
And you also said too, because I said, "Where's the pepperoni?" and you said it's a vegetarian pizza. But you could put pepperoni on too.
You could put pepperoni. You could do some grilled chicken, some chunk chicken.
Sure, sure.
That would be a little bit different. So you can add your protein source if you'd like to have more protein on this pizza. We're trying to let those vegetables shine on this one.
That's a
so
good
that's
idea.
why it's a great one to use to take some out of the garden, 2 or 3, that you get at the farm. It doesn't take a lot of vegetable. Remember, with the corn, if you don't have fresh corn, you can substitute frozen corn or canned corn. Not as good,
but it still works. But
still works.
But like you said, this would be the best option, I think.
Absolutely. And as you say, you could buy the packaged pre-grilled chicken strips. Cut those up and use those. So lots of ways to vary.
Lots of options here.
It's easy, easy, easy.
Well, if you all want this recipe, it's also very easy to get. One of 2 ways. You could email me at North Central. My email address is barry.hyatt@nctc.com. Or you could just check out our website. The website address actually is www.nctc.com. And again, we will make sure that the recipe is on there along with the video of this broadcast.
Absolutely.
Isn't that fun to watch? You can actually watch along as you look at the ingredients.
It's great, and you can see, and if I make a mistake, then you don't have to make that mistake, so it makes it even better.
Not that you ever make mistakes on this.
Well, you're very kind, Barry, yes.
Well, Janet, thanks so much for your time, and we will look forward to seeing you guys again real soon here on NCTV. Thanks so much for joining us. Take care, and have a great rest of your day.